I jumped the Eiffel Tower in Paris in year 2000. I climbed it using the elevator shaft, and then I just watched the most beautiful sunrise. I was all alone on top of Eiffel Tower and kind of watched when the whole city started to move and started to turn alive again. But I guess you were there a week before I was, and I think your footage is probably the coolest base jumping thing I've ever seen in my life.
When I was going through Paris on my way to Venezuela to jump Angel Falls, Francois took me to show me the Eiffel Tower. And he showed me how you could actually jump from the second platform of the Eiffel Tower through the center of it. And I remember looking at it going, wow, you have to be a total psychopath to do something like that. So when I met Omer and we were at the Hole in Mexico, I was telling him about it. And I was telling him about how we go through from the second platform and do it through the center of it. And you know, to my knowledge, I didn't know if anyone had ever done it before. Omer and I went to France, Paris, and we scoped it out for about a week. It was actually really quite intimidating because, I mean, there were cops friggin' everywhere, and we pretty much knew that we were going to be jumping and getting caught. And it was one of the first times I was ever going to do a really super high-profile jump with no intention of actually escaping. Where I was just like, yeah, I'm going to jump, land, and get caught by the police, and whatever, you know. And I didn't know, I hadn't have any idea what they were going to do to me, but I'm just like, well, you know, whatever.
And with your fluent French, it would be easy to get.
Yeah, it'd be easy to get out of it. But I'm like, I didn't really care. It wasn't even a matter. It was like, well, you know what? If I'm willing to get injured or die doing something, well then, hey, well, how can I really be that concerned about what the cops are going to do to me? I mean, get realistic. If you survive, I mean, who cares, right? So I decided, whatever, I'm going to go for it. We found a way to get our gear up onto the second platform, which wasn't hard. I mean, basically, you just put it in a backpack and walked up. Got to the second platform, put on our gear, walked to the exit point, and what's kind of funny is one of his friends, because he has friends who follow him around and film him all the time, and one of his name is Barack. And Barack actually asked me, he's like, so Jeb, what are you going to do on this jump? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a double reverse flip. And he just looks at me, he's like, why? He's like, you know, isn't it like, you know, intense enough just jumping? And I'm like, well, yeah, but the dream has been to do a double reverse flip. That's what I want to do. And he's like, you don't have to. And I'm like, well, I know I don't have to. But
also, like, you've done so many acrobatics, so you are more comfortable of doing acrobatics than people are doing flat jumps.
And for me, I felt more comfortable doing a double reverse flip too, because it would force me to take a delay. And on this particular jump, if you took too short a delay, it could be dangerous. Because if you jump off and you only take like a second or less, then you could actually open up inside the structure and hit it. So that I was really kind of scared of under delaying, like getting scared and pulling too soon and then hitting the structure itself. But then you're also scared about over delaying and then, you know, hitting the ground and dying. So you kind of have like this little window of maybe, I don't know, it's probably like a 1.5 second window where you can actually open a parachute and live.
That's base jumping.
Yeah, that's base jumping. It was actually a really cool jump because it was one of the ones that I'd been dreaming about for years. You know, I'd really wanted to do it really bad, and I'd been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and then all of a sudden you go there, you make a plan, you get on top of it, you jump it, and you're like, you know, I made it. And it was kind of cool because when I landed, the security guard actually comes up to me, and I was so excited and so happy that I did it and I was okay, and I just put my arms around her. I'm like, I'm alive! I'm alive! I'm alive! And she's just like, yes, you are alive, and you're in trouble.
Dangerous sport. Don't try this at home.